Buddy Junior 2000 here, coming at you with movie review of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, or as I call it, Zombie 2, and also it's called Zombie Flesh Eaters, but Zombie from 1979. Definitely a badass Lucio Fulci film, up there with The Beyond and City of the Living Dead. Fulci's a pretty damn badass director. I even enjoyed The New York Ripper, which is a very brutal movie about the serial killer that does Donald Duck noise and kills a lot of women in New York. Definitely a crazy ass Fulci film. That's a great slasher film. But yeah, this is one of my favorite movies from Lucio Fulci is Zombie from 1979, starring Tisha Farrow, who recently passed away. She was Mia Farrow's sister, and she's like the lead final girl of the movie. She recently passed away. Rest in peace, that actress. Starring also Ian McCulloch as Peter West and Richard Johnson, who's another actor that passed away years ago. Al Cleaver, Retta Gay, and Olga Karlatos. Yeah, those are pretty good actors. I think Olga Karlatos. I think she was also in a few other movies. She was also in that movie Purple Rain with Prince. She was like Prince's mom in that movie. Like, her husband was Clarence Williams the third. Yeah, that movie's pretty good. Purple Rain, great film. But yeah, I enjoy 1979 Zombie. But for me, I call it Zombie 2 because I think that's a badass name to call it Zombie 2. And yeah, one leads to another. It's a fast paced Italian horror slasher. Not slasher, I mean, Italian horror zombie film that's blood splatter and kick ass like a motherfucker. Of course, this is the Blue Underground 3disc limited edition set with a 3D slip cover of the variants. Mine was the ending of the movie, which is the Brooklyn Bridge. There was other variants like the Eye Splinter and then the Swarm Eye Zombie. Of course, you get the 2 disc. This one film and then disc two being feature, and then this three being the bonus soundtrack disc, which is badass to have. And yeah, also inserts of the film. Of course, another insert which is, has Where My Zombie, which is the one. If you guys see this movie, if you guys see this image, this is the most common image. Is the Where My Zombie. He's the main poster of the movie. He's like the pumpkin in the original Halloween poster. He's Father Merrin on the original Exorcist poster. He's the egg on the Alien poster. Like he's like the main dude on the. He's like the main tagline picture. We are gonna eat you. Where my zombie. It sucks that he's only in a small part of this cool zombie. Where my zombie. It sucks that he's in a small part, but it's really cool that he is the main poster character. But I wish he was more in the movie because it is a really cool zombie. And of course, this actor, it's hard to pronounce his name, but he's an Italian actor. It kind of sounds like his name is Octavio, but it's Octaviano. It's like an Italian name, but it sounds like almost similar to like the word Octavio, Alcula. But he would go on to do a few Italian horror movies and action movies, and also he would work with Lucio Fulci again in Zombie 3, but he would play a soldier character that's a human character. So that's crazy that he played the most iconic zombie character in this movie, Zombie 2, as Where My Zombie, but he would go on to play a human character that lasted in the movie until he's like the last person killed in that movie, Zombie 3, which is the sequel to this film. Yeah, that's cool. But of course, there's the inserts, all that shit. Behind the scenes of a zombie on the Brooklyn Bridge, which is the end of the movie. Bunch of cool insert essays. Shit. course, you get the splinter kill, where she's gonna get her eye splintered. That's very badass. Really cool shit. Of course, as the character Susan, it gets her throat bit by Worm Eye Zombie. Pretty gruesome shit. That this movie does really get gruesome. Zombie 2, that's what it's called in Italy. They think it was a sequel to Dawn of the Dead because that's what in Italy they called the original Dawn of the Dead movie, Zombie. That's what they call this Zombie 2. But yeah, it's very, very badass insert. Ooh. Look at that gruesome stuff where they're killing and eating Dr. Maynard's wife, where they find her dead and their guts all over. Pretty gruesome shit. Of course, Dr. Maynard gets bit in the movie. Sucks his character gets eaten. Of course, you get the fat zombie, which is the first zombie in the movie that opens the film, where he kills a Coast Guard that's looking through the boat because the boat is abandoned. It's in the Brooklyn Harbor and stuff, and they don't know what the hell it is, so it's abandoned. And they look through, they see all the nasty maggot and food shit all over. Well, at least another, the fat zombie attacks one of the Coast Guard, bites his throat, bleeds like a motherfucker, and one leads to another, he gets shot off the boat, and they don't know what happened to that fat zombie, but originally that zombie was supposed to like appear as like a zombie that came out of the water, and there's like more zombies that would come out with him and stuff. I think it's like in the comics, but originally they were gonna film that part in this movie, but they didn't get. I think it was probably pacing issues, maybe. But on, that fat zombie was supposed to come out with other zombies coming out of the water, and that's what would lead to the end of the film. But on, you get this character, and which is the lead character of the movie, that's played by Tisa Farrow, rest in peace, the actress. She goes and finds out what's going on with her father's boat, investigates, and also gets introduced with this reporter dude named Peter West, that's played by Ian McCulloch. You guys know who Ian McCulloch is? He was in Contamination and also in Zombie Holocaust, which is another good zombie film. But he's a good actor. I like this character. His character pretty much kicked ass at the end of the movie. But one leads to another, they get a ride to the Florida island. They get to a ride to Florida, and then one leads to another, they meet Brian and Susan, get to a ride to this island called Matool, and one leads to another. They get to stop for a bit so the character Susan can skinny dip, and yeah, that actress that played Susan, I think her name is Oretta Gay. That's a gorgeous looking actress. Like, not just only that, because you get to see her tatas, but she also is a good looking actress too, even from the face too. Like, she's a good looking pretty actress. But all in all, she has a skinny dip, and she almost gets attacked by the shark. But one leads to another. Another person that attacks her is underwater zombie, who's played by Ramon Bravo. And a trivia fact: originally that zombie was going to be played by the shark's trainer. No, I mean, my mistake. Originally, that scene was going to be portrayed by a stunt actor, but the stunt guy got sick on that day, so they improvised it, and by having the guy who's the underwater trainer of the shark, Ramon Bravo, so they put him in makeup and let's roll, and they did it. So the zombie's like attacking Susan, which is kind of funny that the zombie kind of looks like he's dry humping Susan, like in one shot of, like a faraway shot of where he's like like grabbing her. It just looks really bizarre. Like, dude, this zombie is kind of frisky. Like, what the fuck? But of course, she grabs a leaf, like a leaf or something, and scratches his face so she could get away. And then he encounters a shark, and you get this badass, really cool cinematic scene where shark versus zombie, and it's a legit fucking zombie fighting shark. And it's cool that the zombie has effects. Like he has makeup that's not fucked up or ruined by the water, and he is able to even look. Even he's like the only zombie that has his eyes open, which is weird because all the zombies have their eyes closed like they're sleeping because they're put on a voodoo spell. But it's really cool where he's like fighting the shark, takes a big chunk out of the shark, tries to like go into position of attacking it again, trying to bite it. But guess what? The shark grabs his arm and bites it off, pulls it off, blood splatter over through the water. And of course, yeah, that was such a badass scene. One of these, you get the doctor played by Richard Johnson, who I thought the character was pretty good, but he comes off as like, dude, what the hell? You want to investigate more of this shit? We should just take your wife and leave. I can understand why his wife is crazy about leaving because, like, dude, this is not worth it. We gotta leave. They gotta leave. The zombies are there. Well, of course, that happens with his wife after she has a shower sequence where she's taking a shower and then she gets spotted by a peeping Tom zombie that's like touching the mirror while he's like seeing her naked tatas and is like caressing the window. Like, hey, that's pretty funny that it's a peeping Tom zombie. But of course, the zombie are noticed there when she gets freaked out. Like, holy shit, her premonition came true. So she locks herself and to build another side of the room, closes the door, but the door keeps getting trying to be opened by the zombie. And you could tell these zombies are damn scary because they are dominant forces to not be reckoned with. They're like demons, man. Like they are not willing to stop. And of course, she's able to get the zombie out of his hand out of the room because his hand gets crushed through the middle open of the door. So he lets go, and then boom, she thinks that she's okay because the door's locked now. No, the zombie keeps fucking going. Like this zombie is one demonic motherfucker. So boom, he starts like breaking through the door. She's trying to hold it with a bookcase, and then boom, grabs her head, and the zombie just growls like a fucking demon. Like dude, that is that part really scared me. Like holy shit, this zombie is pissed off. And of course, the zombie grabs her head, and you get the iconic gory shot of the movie where it's the splinter. The splinter scene is so iconic where it's slowly going into her eye, even though she could easily move the damn thing out of her way. But guess what? The splinter goes completely into her fucking right eye and it goes graphically inside. She is screaming in pain, and boom, you can even see the close up shot of it like getting into it and breaking the wood chip off. Like, that is some gruesome shit right there. Like this movie is nothing to fuck with. They're not fucking around with the violence. They want to show you the whole thing. Okay, you get the gangs of Brian and Peter and Susan to the island. After that, they meet up with Richard Johnson's character, and then he reveals what happened to Anne's dad. He was a person that was being tested as a guinea pig by the infection disease. So he was the first one that turned into a zombie, and he was good friends with Richard Johnson's character, and he had to kill him after he turned into a zombie. And the music is pretty good by the composer Fabriusi. I think it's Fabriusi Rizzi. Damn it, they don't. Oh yeah, Fabio Rizzi. There's his name. Yeah, Fabio Rizzi. His music is good. Like you got a different blend of weird ass music where it's like you get this stomach trenching worm music that's like eerie with the zombies around, and then you get this smoothing sad music where some sad scenes happen in the movie, and then you get the iconic zombie music. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that really badass theme song for the movie. And of course, they meet up with them because they get the news that her dad died. So, one leads to another, they go to see Richard Johnson's wife, who is already dead. So they find her dead carcass, being eaten by 4 zombies with all her blood and guts everywhere. And then they're about to leave until they encounter 2 more zombies. And then Brian and Peter are the ones that kill those 2 zombies, and they make their escape. And then they make it to the road, and one leads to another. Brian's a fucking idiot. He crashes the car because he hits a zombie that's walking in the middle of the road. Instead of like stopping the car, the fucking idiot just rams it through the woods and hits a tree, fucks up the engine. It's like, dumbass, just crashed the car. And then one leads to another. They make a walk. So they walk through for a long time to make it back to the church, and they take a break, and then they realize what they're taking a break on is not an area to rest, because they're breaking a break into a conquistador cemetery, a Spanish conquistador cemetery, because Brian finds a helmet, and then they start noticing the cemetery tombstones. And then Anne and Brian, oh wait, Anne and Peter are the ones that get attacked by the zombies. Brian is the one that goes and helps them out, kills those zombies that are getting their hands out of the ground. Of course, Susan's the one that's too scared and obviously kind of dumb to like not run towards Brian, but she gets killed by Where My Zombie, who's slowly coming out, and you get a creepy ass music, and you get that gory ass shot where My Zombie opens his sharp teeth and bites Susan's throat, and it gets gory blood coming out of her throat. Definitely a gory shot. And of course, they saw this, and then Brian starts to shoot him, and then Peter grabs a tombstone, hits Where My Zombie, and bashes his head open to open his brains out. And then Brian mourns about Susan's dead body, and she's dead. Like, oh, she can't leave her alone. Brian, she's dead. There's nothing you can do here. Come on, man, let's go. Of course, after they leave, they have that moment where the zombie theme song plays, and all these zombie actors are so badass at their performance that they know their cues to get up while they're buried under real dirt, and they have makeup on. And it's so badass that they know their cue when they get up, because, like, holy shit, that is some cool dedication acting right there by those zombies. And the look of the zombies, gosh dang, those zombies look disturbing and scary. They gotta be the scariest looking zombies, because they're not like typical normal looking zombies. They are like demon looking zombies. Like, they look like they would be out of your nightmare. They would look like something out of The Exorcist. Holy shit. Like, these look like demon zombies to stay the fuck away from. And of course, they get that badass thing where more zombies are coming out of the ground, and the badass zombie theme song. They make it to the church. Richard Johnson tells them the truth, what's going on. This voodoo stuff going on. The zombies are like bashing their arms and their elbows and their heads to like break the door. Like, holy shit, they're hurting their fucking brains. You know, because they're trying to get into the church. Of course, they make Molotov cocktail. Richard Johnson gets killed, which sucks. His character gets killed because he forgot to kill his friend who was bit by a zombie early in the movie. But he gets killed. Brian sees this and he kills the zombie friend of Richard Johnson. And then Richard Johnson's assistant gets killed. His arm gruesomely bitten off. And of course, Brian kills another zombie, this is a funny looking zombie where he looks pissed off and one of his eyes is open. And he looks like a pissed off fucking zombie. But Brian shoots it and boom, it blows up the door window and in the zombie as well. That was a pretty funny shot and look of the zombie. Of course, he kills the other 2 zombies that are going to attack the other assistant of the doctor. One of the zombies looked like David Hess, which is pretty funny. And then, of course, that assistant gets killed by that other assistant that got his arm bitten off. And of course, that dude is about to attack Anne until Peter shoots him, and then he gets killed. And then you get the climax where all the zombies are breaking through the door, and then you get that badass theme song of Zombie, where all the zombies are breaking through, killing through all the break through the door. Now there's gonna be carnage. They have to shoot out, bang, 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 all that carnage shit. You get all the headshots, one shot to another, one gets their head blown off, shot to the throat. Some of the zombies look like Brad Dourif, one looks like Everett McGill, one looks like Carrie Ells, one looks like Robert Englund, one looks like Robin Williams. Like a lot of these zombies, they look like celebrity actors that you would see. It kind of goes on with that trope with the Dawn of the Dead remake. You know, like how they made that trope where, oh, the zombie looks like Burt Reynolds, zombie looks like Jay Leno, zombie looks like Rosie O'Donnell. Like that, it just kind of like goes similar to that, where a lot of these zombies look like some of the celeb actors that you would know that you would see in movies and stuff. It's pretty crazy. But they have this badass shootout, crazy ass scene. Well done by Lucio Fulchi. You know how to direct carnage. They make it out. Brian is encountered by a zombified Susan, but he's a fucking idiot and he gets his arm bitten and then stuff. Peter shoots her. They make it out. They make it back to the boat, and then Brian's like kind of slowly dying from his wound because he got bit by Susan, who's a zombie. But his fucking idiot self, he didn't know. He didn't like back up. He made himself get bit. Like, what a fucking jerk. But guess what? He is slowly turning into a zombie. So they lock him into the bottom of the boat so they cannot be attacked by him because he's evidence of being a zombie. But guess what? He's not evidence no more because they hear the news in New York. The zombies are attacking everybody. The newscasters are saying that in New York, everybody's getting attacked. From Brooklyn to Manhattan to Harlem to Queens, the zombies are attacking everywhere. There's nowhere to stop them. Zombies have entered the building. They're at the door. They're coming in. Ah! Then you get the newscasters like getting killed by a zombie. You get this badass ending where Lucio Fulci had no permit to do this, but he had to do this ending real fucking quick with all these zombie actors into makeup, and they had to slowly walk on the Brooklyn Bridge. They had no permit because they had to get a permit to do this shit. But you know what? Fuji said, "Fuck the permit. We'll do this real quick. We gotta do this fast as done." And guess what? They got all the actors to put in makeup, and you see all these actors on the middle of the Brooklyn Bridge. It's so fucking crazy. Such a badass ending. Of course, this is the ending, which I have on the Blu-ray, which is a nice 4K scan of the movie. But yeah, that's the ending of the movie. Such a badass ending. Like, holy shit. And you get all the close-up of some of the zombies with their eyes gouge up and blood all over, one with their throat split. Damn great ending to a zombie film. And of course, you didn't get a sequel to this movie until like, you get Zombie 3, but that was a different movie. But all in all, this movie is such a badass film. And that's what end the film is, where the zombies are walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. Such an iconic ending. But all in all, if anybody has not seen Zombie 2, or as you call it, Zombie from 1979, directed by Lucio Fulci, definitely check it out if anybody has not seen it. I know a lot of us have seen this movie, and we know this is a badass film by Fulci. But yeah, that's my review for Zombie 2 from 1979. Hit the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. Bye-bye.